What's up, guys? Welcome to the third training, and in today's training, what I'm going to be talking about is 3 things that you need to avoid if you want to get more beat sales. And so this is if you exponentially want to increase the amount of business that you have. And so I'm going to talk about the solution in the next couple of trainings, but for today, I want to talk about what we need to avoid, and that's going to lead us to what we need to accomplish. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is depending on BeatStars and YouTube. And so by depending on BeatStars and YouTube, what I mean is one of these 2 things. We're depending on BeatStars for sales to handle the entire sales process. And then we're depending on YouTube to hire the entire marketing process or to handle the entire marketing process. And so what I mean by that is that we will go and post on YouTube and we think that's marketing. And then we'll go and upload on BeatStars and think that that's going to take care of the sales. And I had a producer just reach out to me and say, is BeatStars going to help me to get sales? Is it going to make sales for me? And that's the wrong way to think about this. So sales only happen if you have traffic. And so traffic is what's going to be provided by the marketing side. So let's say you're getting 100 views per each YouTube video, and you're posting 8 times a month, so twice a week. So if you're doing that, then that's going to equal 800 views a month. So if you're getting 800 views a month and you come over to BeatStars, are 800 people going to actually see your video or to see your beat that's uploaded? And the answer is probably much less than 800. We're probably thinking a tenth of that. So if we do a tenth of that, then that's basically going to be 80 people. So if we have 80 people come over to BeatStars, and 10% of them buy, which is really high. Usually it's going to be 2 to 4%. But let's say 10% of them buy, it's really high. Then we're going to get 8 sales. So 8 sales times, let's say $30. That's the average beat sale. So we're going to go and multiply that. That's going to be $240 a month. So if you're able to get 800 views and you're making $240 a month, that's pretty decent. But if you're trying to 10x your business, then it's going to take a lot more than just posting on YouTube if you're not getting enough sales. And so what I mean by this as well is that if you're going to be successful at this, you basically have to be the Walmart of beat sales. So if you're getting 8,000 views a month or 80,000 views a month, then this business model makes sense. But if you're getting 1,000 views a month or less, then this doesn't make sense because you're simply not getting enough traffic to make enough money. So that's the first mistake, is depending on BeatStars and YouTube for your marketing and sales. The second mistake that I want to talk about is essentially posting on too many platforms. So if you're doing multiple platforms, then most likely what you're posting on is going to be kind of a variety of platforms. So a lot of people will post on IG, they'll post on TikTok. We'll also be posting on X, formerly Twitter, and then some people sell on Facebook. Maybe we're doing ads. Maybe we're doing some email marketing thrown in there. And so if you're doing all of these things, it's going to make it so difficult to sell beats. And so you might go and look at some top producers and you're saying, well, they're doing all of those different things. But the issue is, the reason why they're able to do that is because of the leverage they have in terms of brand. So if they have, let's say 30,000 on Instagram, let's say they have 10,000 on TikTok, let's say they have another 5,000 on X, and then they're reaching between, let's say on their email list, they have 20,000 as well. And then ads are reaching 50,000. So if you're doing a combination of all of those different things, your audience size is so big that it makes sense to broadcast to a large audience. Now, if you are on all of these platforms, but you have 1,000 on Instagram, you have 500 on TikTok, you have 100 followers on X, you're reaching 5,000 people through ads, and you have 250 on your email list. Now it doesn't make sense to broadcast to all of these different people because you're most likely not good enough at any one of those platforms in order to convert into sales from any of those. And so that's what I found. I tried everything. I've sold beats on every platform other than Snapchat. And so if you're and TikTok. So if you're looking to sell beats on all these different platforms, you're going to have a mixed variety of results. And so most likely you're only going to be successful at one of these. Let's say it's going to be ads, or maybe you're successful at IG. So you should stop doing all of the other things and focus all of your attention onto one or two of those. And so we talked about the rule 80, the 80-20 rule. And so if you're following that rule, essentially you're going to go and cut out everything that's not working, that's not bringing in 20% of the results or 80% of the results. And so you're left with the 20% that's bringing in the 80% of results. And so you just do that more and you make more money. Right? So that's why we should stop focusing on multiple platforms, and you should double down on one or two platforms maximum in order to get the results you want. Okay, so the third mistake is going to be very specific to sending DMs. So if you send DMs to get beat sales and you're not seeing a lot of sales, then most likely what you're doing is you're using a lot of statements, and you're using statements instead of questions. And so you might say like, well, what's the difference between that? And so what I see a lot of the time is people say statements like, let me know what you think. So if you're saying something like, let me know what you think, get back with me when you can. So if you're saying anything like this, these are mistakes that you want to avoid entirely. These kind of statements are going to lead to you being ghosted because you're giving them permission to not communicate with you. So if you say, get back to me when you are interested in beats, then essentially you didn't set an end date, you didn't set an honest expectation of what they need to do. And so they're just not going to get back with you with something specific to what you're asking for. And so if you say, let me know what you think, it's the exact same thing. So instead of doing, or not let me know what you think, but let me know when you're ready to work with me. And so you're giving them permission to not communicate with you until they're ready. And what that'll do is ensure that you get no beat sales. And so let me go and change this around for you. And so instead of using these, I know I said statements versus questions, but instead of using statements like these, if you want to change this around, what you want to do is say, let me know which ones you like, right? So if you're saying like, let me know what you think of my beats, instead say, let me know which ones you're vibing with, let me know which ones you're feeling, that type of thing. So that's the difference. The difference here is that now they're going to list out every single one they want because you asked for something specific instead of leaving it open-ended. So that's one mistake to avoid. The next thing you want to do is end everything with a question instead of ending it with a statement. So instead of saying like, I know we're going to work on some amazing music together, instead of saying something like that, you can say the exact same sentence. You can say like, I know we're going to work on some amazing music together. Which beats, which ones out of the ones I sent you did you like? So never leave it with a statement, always go and pivot into a question. And that's going to change the game for you. It's going to get you a lot more responses. It's going to increase that conversion percentage and increase the amount of people that respond to your messages. So those 3 tips right there, if you try to avoid all of those things, that's going to help you to 3x your business just by the law of subtraction, by taking away so that you can focus more on what exactly you need to do. Instead of doing everything and hoping something works, you can do a couple of things and guarantee that those things work. So now that I taught you the 3 things to avoid, tomorrow I'm going to offer you an amazing solution that's going to 3x your business. And so this is what's going to keep you away from not even having the potential to 3x your business. And now tomorrow I'm going to teach you exactly how you can leverage and multiply the amount of beat sales in your business. So I'm super excited for that training. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you're doing some of these and you're conflicted and you're like, well, I don't agree with you on some of these, then that's probably the exact reason why you're not getting beat sales currently, or you're not getting as much as you would like. Is because you don't understand the difference between these. And so if I only said things that you agreed with, I would be a horrible teacher and a horrible coach. But if I said some things that got you on edge and you felt like, well, maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about, and you look at the results you're getting and you're not getting the results you want, it's probably because you're not doing everything as perfectly as you would like to. And so if you're more open to change and you try to avoid those 3 things that I taught you, what I'm promising you is that it's going to change your business around, and you don't have to do everything under the sun. You can only do a couple of things, do more of those things, and it's going to increase the amount of business you got. So stay tuned for the solution tomorrow. I'm super excited to share that, and I'll see you guys in the 4th